What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, Donnie B here. I've been using the DJI Mic 3 for about a week now, and I gotta say there's some things that I absolutely love about it. There is one thing that kind of bums me out, but we're gonna talk about it. First off, this video is not sponsored. I purchased this with my own money from Amaran. Also, all the audio that you're gonna be hearing from this video is coming from the DJI Mic 3 paired up with the Osmo 360. Now, I've been debating on how to approach this video. Do I want to look at it as someone who's buying a wireless microphone set for the first time, or do I want to compare it to the DJI Mic 2? I think right now we're just going to do an overview and just a showcase, not necessarily a review, but just showing you how it works and what it sounds like and give you some audio samples. And then maybe in another video we'll compare it to other microphone systems. That sound good? For those of you that are new to the DJI mic system, this won't really matter to you at all, but for those of you that have been using them for a while, this is going to be huge. So for the first time in DJI mic history, the windscreen now fits in the charging case. That is awesome. Man, we've been asking for that since the DJI Mic 1. That's huge. But not only can you fit the windscreen in there, but you also have the audio cable and the magnets are in there all together. Closes right up. That's huge. Before we get into everything that's in the charging case, I just want to show you everything that comes in the box. So everything comes packaged in this zippered pouch, and this pouch is from the DJI Mic Mini. Now, I never owned the Mic Mini, but this label has Mic Mini all over it. Plus, this microphone is the same size as the Mic Mini. I'm just assuming that everything is based off of that microphone system. So, in the pouch, you get the USB-C cable, USB-C to C. You also get two different color windscreens, so you get the black ones and the gray ones. That's huge, and that's about it. Some silica gel, some candy. And you also get a couple DJI stickers. I think they're all doing the same little SD card sticker. If you don't plan to carry the charging cable and the extra windscreen, then you really don't even need this case because everything packs up nice and neat in this smaller case. It's a lot better than carrying this around for sure. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to do a comparison, but I do just want to show you the size difference. So this is the DJI Mic 2, and again, the windscreens did not shut inside of there, but the case is overall, it is smaller by about, I don't know, maybe what, 10% or so. Same thickness, but the width is overall smaller. For good reason, because the microphone itself is smaller. In case you were wondering how much smaller, so this is the DJI Mic 2 and this is the DJI Mic 3. So it's about 50% smaller. So not only is it smaller, but you have multiple ways of mounting it now. It still has the clip on the back, but the clip is now completely removable via magnets. So if you want to magnetize it to your shirt like this is here, you can use the clip, or you can put just the magnet on by itself. Regardless of which way you put it, whether this is on the outside or the inside of your shirt, you're still going to have that bright DJI branding, where they just can't go without doing that. A lot of times, I'll just take a piece of black gaffer tape and just cover that up. It seems to hide it pretty well. I mean, this is a lot more concealable, but one way they were able to get the size down as small as it is it no longer has that 3.5 millimeter jack for running a lavalier mic. This is huge for me. Like 99% of the time when I've been recording a video, I've always had a lavalier mic taped to my chest. It's just the way that I get backup audio. In this case here, I have the DJI lav mic as well as a Rode lav mic. I've always carried these, and I would take these little Rycote furries and these Rycote stickies, and I would stick it right here to the center of my chest. Hardly ever use that audio, but I always had it there as a backup, so that now there's no longer any way to run a 3.5 millimeter lav mic. Kind of a bummer, not a huge deal. Most people aren't running lav mics on these anyway, but it's just something to consider. If you're putting this on like a bride and groom, I do appreciate the fact that they give you two different colors now. I mean, you're not going to change the color of the transmitter, but you can at least change the color of the windscreen. But you know, putting this on a tuxedo or on a wedding dress or any kind of interview, you know, it's still good to have the option to run a lavalier mic. Am I wrong? Maybe it's just personal preference, but now not only did they remove the 3.5 millimeter jack, they also completely removed the power button. I mean, they really did condense this thing down. So now to power it on, you just long press the record button and then it powers on. Another thing that they've changed that I really like is when you're linking, you used to have to press to cycle between. So the green LED is for connecting to the receiver, and the blue LED, if you can see that, is for connecting to your Bluetooth. And used to, you would have to cycle between blue and green depending on what you were connecting to. Now, if you just long press this, let's see if it'll show you. You can see how it's cycling. Well, it's not really showing, but it's cycling between blue and green, and it will connect to the first thing that it recognizes. There we go. You can kind of see it. Focus. You see it cycling. There we go. The record button is also how you will cycle on and off your noise cancellation, but that only works when you're connected to the wireless receiver. If you're connected via Bluetooth to a DJI camera, then you would just change that in settings. But you just double tap the record button and the light will turn yellow, and that's when you know your noise cancellation is on. Now I want to talk about the receiver, because they've added some huge security upgrades to this that is needed for a long, long time. So for the first time, we now have a locking 3.5mm jack for the audio out on the receiver. So you just screw that on there and it's threaded, and now that is locked and it won't ever just pop off. The camera end is still just a normal TRS cable, but unless your camera has a locking cable, it wouldn't do you any good anyway. They've also added, for those of you that use the USB-C adapter for your iPhone or Android phone, or I've even used it for my computer, but now that also locks as well. So they've added this little button on the side here, little physical button. If you push that, it now unlocks the adapter. So that will not come off unless you push that button. That's awesome. There have been several times that I've gotten back and my audio was just not quite right, or there was some static in it, and it was because this wasn't pushed in all the way. So one thing the DJI Mic 3 has the ability to do over any other microphone system that I've ever used is the ability to connect 4 transmitters to one receiver. And the way that it's doing that is, say 1 and 3 will be on channel 1, and then 2 and 4 will be on channel 2. So channel 1 left will be 1, channel 1 right will be 3. Does that make sense? But not only can you connect multiple transmitters to one receiver, but you can also link multiple receivers so that you can have multiple cameras recording and taking in the same audio from all 4 microphones. Pretty wild, huh? I think I might have biffed that explanation, but it's still pretty cool that you can have multiple units. Now, one thing I did try to do is connect the DJI Mic 2 to the Mic 3 receiver, and there may be a way to do it. I couldn't figure it out. Maybe somebody will figure it out eventually. I don't know why it wouldn't. It's all running on Bluetooth. I mean, I can connect the Mic 2 and the Mic 3 to my Osmo 360. Why can't I connect the Mic 2 to the Mic 3 receiver? I don't know. If I figure it out, I'll let you know. If I figure it out before I publish this video, I'll put it out how to do it, but I haven't figured it out yet. All right, I think it'll be easier if I just kind of walk through the menu and show you all the features, because I know I end up leaving something off, so we'll just go through it real quick. All right, so you can see that we are connected to the transmitter because the green light is lit up and our audio levels are going across. It's also showing the left and right channel are on the same because we're recording mono, if you see the little M at the top. It's also showing that we're recording 32-bit float, but we're not recording yet. So if you hit the record button on the transmitter, this will light up red. That indicates that it's recording. It's also showing that we're on channel 2, and then we got full signal strength, and it's showing our battery level for our transmitter as well as the battery level for our receiver. I'm just going to turn this off for now, and then we'll walk through the menus. This is touchscreen, but you can also navigate with this scroll wheel right here, and there's also a back button right here. The power button doubles as a back button. So if you just swipe down from the top, you'll see your settings open up, and then you got receiver settings and then transmitter settings. Here's your device linking, and then device management, time code. Time code is also an addition. I don't know enough about time code to intelligently talk about it, and we'll save that for maybe the device walkthrough. And there's also app. I could not figure what app they were trying to connect to. I never found it. And then general settings. Let's just start here. So general settings is brightness and language, time, date, and then factory reset. Hit the back button. So let's go into receiver settings. So if you tap receiver settings, you can see there's mono, and then stereo, and then quadraphonic. And that's where you're connecting 4 devices at once. I don't want to do quadraphonic. I'd rather stay in mono. And also, if you scroll right here, you see that yellow line highlighted around it? That means it's recording a safety track, where I believe it's a 20 dB pad. So let's just go back, and then here's your monitoring volume, as well as the gain on the transmitter itself. Lossless audio. You can turn lossless audio on. That's just where it's going to compress the file. I tend to just let it ride because the files are not that big anyway. And then auto on off with camera. That's pretty cool. It's a handy feature. When you turn your camera off, this will cut off as well. Auto off, so if it sits for too long, it'll cut off on its own. And then environment. This is something new also. So if you go into environment, you can choose whether you are indoors or outdoors. So right now we're indoors. I don't know what the difference is. I guess it's some kind of AI processing going on. And then let's go to the transmitter settings. Here's your low cut filter and your gain. So automatic gain control. Now if you're using 32-bit float, then you can't use automatic gain control. What it's doing is it's just listening to the levels of your audio, and then it's adjusting the gain accordingly. Me personally, since I'm not that technical with audio, I prefer to just leave it in 32-bit float and then raise the levels later. So you see highlighted in yellow is 32-bit float. If you click on that, it's either off or on. Let's go back, we'll leave it on. Recording stop, that means whenever you hit the record button on the transmitter, it will stop recording. And then noise cancellation via button. So like I was saying earlier, if you double tap that record button, then the light will turn yellow, and that indicates that the noise cancellation is turned on, and that only works when connected to this receiver. All right, next up is start up auto recording. So if it detects your voice, it will automatically start recording. If you want to trust that, you can. I don't have any bad experiences with it, but I don't give it the opportunity to let me down. And next up you have low power auto recording. Now this is a huge redundancy. In case the battery is about to die on this receiver, then it will automatically start recording a backup track on this transmitter. And then you have loop recording, and honestly I didn't know that was on, but what that is it will overwrite your oldest file if you go over your storage. Personally, I don't think I want that to be on. You can turn it on if you want to, but I feel like that might be bad. And next up you have storage. I could not find anywhere that showed the exact amount of storage. I think it's 32 gigs, but it just shows hours. So it's 42.8 hours of recording with 32-bit float. Next is vibration. That just means when something turns on, it will vibrate. So if I were to hit recording, it'll vibrate a little bit. Turn it off, it'll vibrate. And then LED indicator, which is what's letting you know that it is recording. So you see the red LED on the other side indicating that it's recording. When you're not recording, that will go off. Or you can turn on noise cancellation, and that will also let you know. All right, next up I just wanted to show you. So now we are paired up with the Action 5 Pro, and you can see the audio level at the top. It's a little bit low. And if you want to adjust your gain or your noise cancellation, it'll be over here in this menu. So you see you have your camera settings there. If you go here, there's all your audio settings. And you can control your gain right here, where I might actually want to bump that up just a little bit. If you scroll down, you can mute the transmitter from here as well. Mute on, off. If you go all the way to the bottom, here's your noise reduction. It's got off, low, and high. And I think now is a good time to show you the noise reduction. Now you can't change the level of noise reduction while recording, so you need to plan ahead and figure out whether you want it on low, high, or off. Now with the Mic 2, and you can go back to 2 videos ago where I did a video on the H5 Studio, I accidentally had the noise cancellation turned on with that video because all my recorders were here on the table. I wasn't using the overhead boom mic, and accidentally I turned that on, and the audio, I was unable to recover it. I went with it, I let it ride, and it sounds very robotic, very over processed. I couldn't save it. I tried to bring it back, I couldn't do it. The Mic 2, the noise cancellation was not that good. Now with the Mic 3, it's better. It's still not where I would like it to be. It might be good for you, but I tend to not use it. But One thing I did do was in the cabinet shop, I had some sanders running, a couple fans, and I did a few tests, but that was in the shop, a lot of noise, and not everybody's going to be dealing with that much noise. All right, so I really can't think of a much better test for this noise reduction than in the cabinet shop. So currently I am nailing up a cabinet. I have multiple fans blowing on me right now. Should be able to cancel out that noise. And then got Brandon over there running a sander. So this is with the noise cancellation set to high. There's off, low, and high, and this is with noise cancellation set to high. So I think a good test right now is I'm gonna fire my computer up right here, and I'm gonna probably adjust. It's got 10 fans on it, so I'm probably gonna turn the fans up pretty high, and then we'll see how it does with that. We'll go off, low, and then high, and then we'll come back. And all that audio will be running through the Action 5 Pro because I don't want to stop recording on the 360. So we're just going to have 2 microphones on for just a minute. Oh yeah, I can see the audio level. It is cranked up. I got my fans at 100% right now. That might be a little much, but we're trying to do a stress test, right? So fans on the computer at 100%. I can see how much it's impacting the audio levels. Now we're going to switch to low noise cancellation and see how that sounds. All right, so this is with the DJI Mic 3 low noise cancellation, 10 fans at 100% right off my right shoulder here. How's it doing? Does my voice sound robotic or over-processed in any way? It tends to have that effect. The audio levels do look lower in camera, but we won't know till we get this in post. All right, now we have noise cancellation turned to high. And I have a feeling that my voice probably sounds a little robotic, like I'm talking into a bucket maybe, but it's probably doing a pretty good job of filtering out that back there. But we won't know till we get it in post-processing, but this is the DJI Mic 3 with noise cancellation turned to high with 10 fans in the background blowing full speed. For those of you that are wondering, we've been recording for 79 minutes and the Osmo 360 still has 37% battery left. Oh, before I forget, I just made a community post where I'm talking about the firmware update for the Action 5 Pro, and it added a password for your gallery. So all your gallery will be protected behind a 6-digit PIN now. So if you have the Action 5 Pro, then it might be a good idea to go and download that firmware. Just connect your Action 5 to the Mimo app and it should pop up new firmware update. And it takes about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes to install. Definitely worth it. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. I really do appreciate each and every one of y'all. Go ahead and hit the like button if you found this at all helpful, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, this is more of an introduction and product showcase more than a review. I do plan on doing a full review in the next coming weeks. Just let me get a little bit more time with it. There might be some things that I really don't like. There might be some things that I really love. So a little bit more time, and I'll put that full review out. I also plan on doing Mic 2 versus Mic 3 and which one should you buy, which one do I recommend. A little foreshadowing though, I'm going to go and tell you I really like the form factor of the Mic 3. It's smaller. I know it doesn't have the 3.5 for the lavalier mic, but that's something I can get over by it just being so small and compact and isn't such an eyesore like these were. That shiny plastic, man, it was just such an eyesore. And like I said, I recommend putting a little gaffer tape over that. Sorry DJI, but you put that logo, that's worse than Rode, man. That logo just stands out. You put that on a tuxedo, you're definitely going to see that. Also, if you're into other DJI products, I just released the review on the Osmo 360, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. As always, take care of yourselves. You know you deserve it. I'm Donnie B, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.